Before we get into it, if you're finding this show useful, come hang out beyond the episodes. Head to steadyhandaccounting.com and subscribe to my newsletter. You'll get episode recaps and financial insights delivered straight to your inbox. The kind of stuff that's actually useful for running your agency. The link is in the show notes. Okay, let's go. Hey, hey. You're listening to No Se Habla Taxes, the podcast for creative agency owners who want to understand the financial side of their business without drowning in spreadsheets. I'm Melissa Armstrong, CPA, fractional controller, and the person your bookkeeper calls when things get complicated. Let's dive in. Okay, confession time. I know you love this. I want you to picture a client of mine. Let's call her Jordan. Jordan runs a branding agency, good revenue, great clients, and a team that she is proud of. And every single Monday, Jordan would sit down at her desk and feel immediately overwhelmed. Because somewhere in her inbox, her Slack, her text messages, and probably a sticky note that she lost, there were bills. Vendor bills, software renewals, a subcontractor asking when they were getting paid, maybe even a late notice from someone she forgot entirely. Jordan wasn't irresponsible. She wasn't disorganized as a person. She was just running a business without a system. And every week, paying the bills felt like putting out a fire that she didn't know was burning. Sound familiar? No worries. Because today we're fixing that. And I promise you, it's not complicated. Here's what financial chaos actually looks like in a real agency. It's not a dramatic moment, hardly ever. It's not one bad decision. It's a slow accumulation of small, unmanaged things. A bill comes in and you think, oh, I'll deal with that later. But later comes and you don't remember when it was due. You pay it late. Maybe there's a fee. Maybe the vendor sends a follow up. Maybe you pay it twice because you couldn't tell if you'd already handled it. Meanwhile, a big client payment is supposed to hit this week and you're making decisions. Should I pay this vendor now or wait until I know the money's in? You're operating based on vibes instead of numbers. This is what I mean when I talk about cash flow surprises. It's not that the money wasn't there, it's that there was no system telling you when to look, what to pay, and in what order. Jordan used to tell me that she felt like she was always one missed invoice away from a vendor situation. And she probably was, but not because of cash, because of the chaos that she was operating in. So, this is what we built instead. And I use this framework with a lot of my clients because it is stupid simple and it actually works. It's called a financial operations cadence. Fancy name, very basic idea. You pick 3 days a week. I personally like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And this is what happens in each one. Tuesday is for recording. Any bill that came in since the last cycle gets logged in. It goes in your system, QuickBooks or whatever you're using, with the amount, the vendor, the due date, and what you're paying for. You are not paying anything on Tuesday. You are just capturing it. You are just making sure that it goes out of your inbox and into a place where it can actually be managed. Then Wednesday is for approving. You look at what's been recorded, you confirm that the amounts are correct, you make sure that you got the service or the product that you paid for. You flag anything that looks off, and then you decide, okay, what's getting paid this week and what can actually wait. And this is where your judgment lives. Not in a panic on a random Thursday morning, but on purpose on Wednesday. And then Thursday is for paying. Approved bills get paid, ACHs go out, checks get cut if you're still living in 2003. Whatever the method, it still happens on Thursday. It is scheduled, it is intentional, it is done. And then you're free to not think about payments again until Tuesday. Now, I know that some of you are thinking, Melissa, I don't have time for 3 dedicated days of finance tasks. My calendar is already a disaster. And I hear you. But here's the thing, you're already spending that time. You're just spending it in 5-minute chunks spread across the entire week at random times while also trying to be on a client call or review a deck or hire a new person. The cadence is not going to add time. I promise you, it's actually going to reduce it. At a minimum, it will help consolidate it. And when you consolidate it, 3 things happen. One, cash flow surprises drop considerably. When you're looking at your payables in a schedule, you can actually see what's coming. You're not getting caught off guard by a big vendor payment the same week your payroll hits. You know ahead of time and you plan for it. Number 2, you create internal financial discipline. And this matters even if you're a one-person team. It matters even more when you're not, because discipline is what makes it possible to eventually hand this off. And I will always, always help you build something that can scale. If your accounts payable process is, oh, I pay things when I remember them, you cannot delegate that. There's nothing to hand someone. But a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday cycle, that's a process and somebody else can run it. Number 3, you stop using your brain as a filing cabinet. Right now, some of you are tracking due dates in your head. Due dates, vendor relationships, amounts owed. That's cognitive load you don't need to be carrying. This system can carry it for you instead. Now, Journal My Client went from dreading mornings to actually having a clean, quiet inbox by the end of the week. And not because her business changed, but because her process did. Or should I say, because now she actually had a process. All right, here's your homework for this week. I want you to assign your 3 days. They don't have to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's just what I prefer and what works for most businesses. You pick the days that fit your week. Maybe it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Maybe it's all 3 on the same day if you're small enough and the volume supports it. The point is, pick your days. Put them in your calendar, give them a name. AP cycle, if you want to sound like a finance pro, bill stuff, if that's more your vibe. And for this week, just do Tuesday, just a recording step. Get your bills in one place, and that's it. You don't have to build a whole system in one day. You just have to get it started. And that is it for today, my friends. A simple cadence, 3 steps, and a process that actually gets the financial chaos out of your head and into a system that works. If any of this is making you realize your financial operations need more than a new calendar invite, I can certainly help you with that. The first step to working with me is called No Se Habla Confusion. And it starts with a 90-minute call where we do a deep dive together. Then an independent review of your QuickBooks. And finally, a findings call where we map out exactly what's going on and what needs to change. $500 and 2, maybe 3 hours with me. If you're interested, email me at info@steadyhandaccounting.com with No Se Habla Confusion in the subject line. Thank you for being here. And remember, no se habla taxes. Bye. Hey, before you go, if anything we talked about today made you realize you're not totally sure where your business stands financially, that's exactly what No Se Habla Confusion is for. It's a $500 assessment where I get into your QuickBooks, stress test your numbers, and give you a clear picture of what's working, what's not, and what to do about it. For creative agencies on QBO doing 300 grand to $3 million a year in revenue. Email me at info@steadyhandaccounting.com. Subject line, no se habla confusion. Details are in the show notes. Thanks for listening and no se habla taxes.